Hello students, this is Deepika Bhandari from Institute of Forensic Science, Mumbai, presenting this lecture on behalf of Mr. Swaroop Manerikar from Institute of Forensic Science, Mumbai and myself. I am delighted to present this lecture on cybercrime investigation. Before we start our chapter, with the introduction of this chapter, let us look at the other modules we will study in this chapter. Module 1 will deal with identifying and seizing the evidences. Module 1A, definition of evidence. Module 1B, identification of digital evidence. Module 2, analysis of evidence. Module 3, types of digital evidence. Module 4, investigation of Windows and Linux. Module 5, tools used for the analysis. And finally, Module 6, the conclusion. First, the definition of evidence. Evidence is the only valuable resource for the investigator on crime scene. Previously, it was something like chemicals, artifacts or fingerprints, but in digital era, we need to rely on digital devices for almost all activities. So, digital evidences are very important. Digital investigation is the process to link digital events to answer the questions in the court of law. It always may not be about cybercrime, which is committed by using computers connected to internet, but by using digital evidences, we can link criminal to the crime like murder, robbery, etc. For example, using Fitbit data to identify the person's activity for a specific time span or CCTV footage. Digital evidence is the digital object which contains the information to support the investigation. It may be a computer, pen drive, phone or even wearable devices too. Whether it is damaged or in working condition, it is highly important. For cybercrime, the first thing we need to do is system preservation. Means affected system should not change its state. If change takes place, it might erase the digital artifacts. On a regular crime scene, investigator needs to find out all digital devices, including the devices such as the ones which cover the scene of crime like CCTV or CDR. Next is identification of digital evidence. Identification of digital evidence is very simple. If the object stores the information in digital form, then it is digital evidence. Identifying CCTV cameras which covers the scene is very important. Computer has hard disk. Pen drive itself is a storage device. Camera has memory card. Mobile phone, especially the smartphone, is the most valuable evidence since it usually contains data of recent calls to photos, location, email and lots of other details. After that, investigator needs to approach cellular service provider to know cellular user present at that time under that area. All devices may not require proving link between the criminal and crime, but initially each and every device is important. Sometimes the device may not contain any information regarding the crime. Example of the raid conducted by Maharashtra police in Thane with the tip from FBI about the fraudulent call center is one of the significant cases. They found more than 800 computers, means more than 800 hard disks. Each hard disk takes almost 4 hours of imaging and then investigation. After identification of evidence, investigator needs to seize it and document it properly to maintain the chain of custody. The evidence might be handed over by one agency to another agency. Thus, to prevent or detect the tampering by accident or by intention, investigator needs to maintain a log of each and every step taken on that evidence or each and every process executed on that evidence. In case of a live system, as evidence, we need to ensure that there should not be any overwriting on that system or device. For a live analysis, the suspect process can be terminated or suspended. If system is connected to the network, cable needs to be pulled. In case of smartphone, it can be put on aeroplane mode. After taking any device under custody, first thing which is done by the agency is identifying and reporting the basic attributes of the device or the evidence. In case of hard disk, its manufacturer, capacity, serial number, etc. Then they assign a case number and file number to that device. After that, the hash value is calculated and written on the sheet for further record. Hashing algorithms are irreversible algorithms. Any change in the source will change the respective hash value. So, after calculating the hash value, if there is change in device, then the hash value will get changed. This step is repeated in case of evidence is handed over. One agency calculates hash before another and compares it with the documented one to ensure there is no tampering in the evidence. Now we shall discuss in module 2 about the analysis of evidence. Artifacts or information present in device is the only useful thing for the investigator. If information which can link the criminal to crime is present same on the device, then it is very easy job to put the information before the court of law. But in case the criminal has enough knowledge about the computer, then he might try some tricks to hide or destroy the information on that device to escape from the investigation process. In that case, investigator needs to recover the data and prove before the court of law. Present files, information, user artifacts, temporary files, logs, slack space are the major areas of interest for the investigator. First is present file. A file created on device and not deleted which might provide link about crime like a fraudulent document, a photo, pirated movie file and many more depending on the type of crime. Second is user artifacts, recent web searches, installed software, browser history, etc. Third is temporary files. These are created by the system for better performance. While editing any office document, respective temporary file is created on the location. For Windows operation system, see Windows TMP stores system related temporary files. 4. Logs. The mechanism implemented by operating systems for security reason and recovery purpose. It might be the system log or application log. Even in case user turns off the antivirus or firewall, that is also logged. Even if user plugs a storage device, it also gets logged in the system. And for a naive user, it is very difficult to find and destroy the traces. Even if he tries, it will further create traces. Fifth is slack space. When the user deletes the file, most of the time computer just erases the entry, not the whole file. But the space occupied by the file is marked as a free space. In simple words, we can say the space which was used by the deleted file is free. Even when the system stores the smaller file, then also some portion of previous file remains the same and it can be used during prosecution in the court of law. Now we shall discuss in module 3 about the types of digital evidences. Various types of digital devices are in use. A. Smartphone. It is the most important evidence nowadays. Actually, it is nothing less than a mini computer. Call logs, text messages, photos are the basic details available in any mobile phone. And the addition is apps. More apps on the mobile phone will provide more data available for the investigator. Phone manufacturers are providing more and more facilities to the users to simplify his everyday life, which gives better and clear traces about the user. Chat applications, e-commerce applications can provide more information about users, communication or financial transactions, which might make picture more clear and give more evidences. Traveling applications can provide traveling pattern, staying details. If he uses location services, then investigator can find his location and movement pattern with respect to date, time to prove his presence at particular location at specified time. Nowadays, when we click photos from smartphone, it attaches GPS information to the photo, which can help the investigator to identify user's location while the photograph was taken. Handling the phone as evidence is not so simple. As soon as you get the phone, put it on charging, and if it is unlocked, then make sure that it does not get locked. Try to record the screen to produce it before the court if needed, because once it is locked or turned off, the information might be inaccessible, which may introduce more delay in investigations. Put the phone on flight mode to avoid incoming data to overwrite existing data on storage. B. Data storage devices. It is simple to handle as compared to smartphones. These are just storage devices. They don't have any processing unit and power unit, so less hectic to handle. The investigator can directly go for imaging. In case of insufficient time, by using write blocker, investigator can connect the device to computer to retrieve data from the device. This is useful when law enforcement agencies demand data to take a quick actions to avoid further events. After getting the storage device, investigator goes for imaging. Exact image is created and the original device can be sealed and kept in safe place. The image can be replicated several times to send it for analysis to multiple agencies or investigators. They might use their own methodologies or tools, and successful outcome will be produced before the court of law. We need to keep in mind that every action taken on image is logged. In case any objection taken by the defense lawyer or court, the original device should be produced before the court and the same actions are performed on that device, which will produce the same results. Therefore, chain of custody should be properly maintained. C. Wearables or activity trackers. They are becoming very famous and cheaper nowadays. Hence, number of users are getting increased. They keep track of steps, heartbeats and sometimes location. Obviously, there is a doubt about its acceptability in the court. It can be used by the agencies to link multiple things, like steps or heartbeats can be used to cross-examine or check crime scene and user of that activity tracker. D. CCTV. It stands for closed circuit television. This system is getting famous. Previously, it was seen in some rich hotels and shops, and now even small shops use it. For government premises and banks, CCTVs are compulsorily installed. The system has multiple cameras on network, which is connected to the central DVR, and the DVR has storage hard disk which exclusively stores the video coming from the cameras. Due to continuous recording and limited storage, old videos get deleted by the new ones when media is full. So after visiting the crime scene, investigator checks for the nearby CCTV cameras and takes respective hard drive under custody to prevent overwriting and starts analyzing it. E, which is CDR, it stands for Call Detailed Record. It is produced and maintained by the telephone exchange. Investigator needs warrant to produce it before exchange authority to get access of CDR. Also, HLR and VLR data is very useful to know number of cell phone user present under that cell. It can be used to find travelling or movement pattern of the specific user. There are many cases where these details played key role during the investigation. F. Computer. It is the core thing. There are number of crimes which can be committed using computer, and the number is getting increased. Computer can be used to post some abusive content on social media, creating fake documents till creating and circulating pirated software. The movie studio and software development companies are facing data theft issue. Sometimes computer is a weapon and sometimes it is a victim. In case computer is used as a weapon, investigator has to prove that the particular crime has been committed by using the machine seized from the crime scene. In case computer is victim, investigator has to prove that the computer is manipulated or data has been stolen by a particular method, or the computer is manipulated remotely to initiate attack on third computer system. Existing files is the only which is same for all computer, but due to variety of computer operating systems, the way of investigation changes with respect to computer operating system. Windows and Linux investigation are covered in the next module. First, we shall start with the investigation of Windows. First, under this is user artifacts. It includes files created by the user or that exists on the system. Their metadata like date of creation, name of the machine on which file has been created, user logged in while creating the file, and many other details are very useful for the link. Second is registry. It is a central register of the Windows. Data stored in hierarchy, the command regedit will grant access to the registry. It can be exported and copied to another machine for analysis. It can provide list of users, recent activities, installed and uninstalled software, attached mass storage devices, etc. Very useful to tackle data theft cases. Third is browser history. Very useful in tackle of credit card fraud or online crime like abusing a person on social media. Each and every web page visit is logged under history section of the browser. Sometimes autofill contributes significantly to identify user credentials. The frequently visited websites can provide better picture about the user. If user didn't log out, then investigator can assess his open sessions and site like Google. If user didn't log out, then his Gmail, photos, YouTube, video history, GPS data, search history, and a lot of details are available to the investigator for further analysis. Even if user uses private browsing, still investigator can recover his history. Fourth is system log. Each and every system generates system logs to recover from the crash. Boot, shutdown, login, log out, critical messages, system alert, everything gets logged under system logs. Fifth is security log. Same as previous, but logs change in firewall settings. Failed log in attempts, etc. Sixth, network connections and configuration. User attaches to the new network and forgets to delete the configuration, for example, Wi-Fi. By saved network setting, we can identify the networks related to our computers or laptop and their settings. Seventh, shortcuts. Sometimes user keeps file in some complex location, but to access it faster, he creates the shortcut. By using that shortcut, we can reach up to that file. Even if he deletes the file, we can at least track the location of that file, which will help the investigator to recover it with less time. 8th, installed software. There are some specific software used for specific crime or attack. Investigator can use the whole system configuration to prove whether the system is capable to commit the crime or not. 9th, uninstalled software. Same as previous, but used in case user uninstalls the software after committing the crime. 10th, application logs. It may differ with respect to the operating system. It is based on the developer, might contain changes in software configuration and use of that software. 11th, recycle bin. It contains recently deleted files, can be recovered without any efforts. 12th, deleted files. It needs recovery software to analyze the slack space to identify and recover the deleted file. 13th, temporary files. It is used by the system for better performance. Investigator can reconstruct the series of events. 14th, downloads. They are like regular files but helpful to picturize the user's intentions and mentality. 15th, rootkit analysis. Sometimes criminal infects another machine by using rootkits, which takes charge after system boot, and that machine is operated by the attacker to attack on another system. In that case, investigator has to prove that the attack committed by the manipulated system, and he needs to link the real attacker. Now we shall discuss the investigation of Linux. It has mostly the same steps like in Windows, such as user artifacts, browser history, system log, network connection and configuration, shortcuts, installed packages. It is same as in Windows, but the way of assessing is different. It is dpkg1 is the command to get list of all installed packages. Then is remove packages. It has a different command. Cat var log apt history.log is the command to get the history of packages. Then software repositories. Linux has facility of software repository. List of remote locations is maintained by the system, and while installation, that list is referred by the system. Investigator can analyze the list for harmful link. Next is trash. It is same as recycle bin in Windows. Deleted files, temporary files, downloads and rootkit analysis. Now we shall deal with next module. Tools used for the analysis. First tool that is used for analysis is EnCase. It is the most widely used tool. It supports the imaging and image analysis. It supports live acquisition. It supports smartphone investigation too. It supports data recovery. It gives automatic report generation. Can go through file to find specific content, and many ready-made patterns are available for search in this tool. Next is FTK. This is also a trusted software. It comes with FTK images used for imaging and image analysis, and it can recover the file. Next is UFED. It is specially made for mobile phone investigation. It can be carried on field and covers all cell phones. It can help in retrieving call logs, messages, GPS data, multimedia, etc. Next is Kali Linux, previously known as Backtrack. It is a Debian based distribution with forensic and VAPT tools. It can be run live in forensic mode. Open source and free. It comes with tools from imaging to recovery. It is an open source, hence frequently updates. Next is WinHex, used for imaging and recovery. can perform header analysis. It is lightweight and user friendly. Next is hashing algorithm. A cryptographic hash function is a special class of hash function that has certain properties which makes it suitable for use in cryptography. It is a mathematical algorithm that maps data of arbitrary size to a bit string of a fixed size, a hash function, which is designed to also be a one-way function, that is a function which is infeasible to invert. MD5, it is a type of hash function. SHA-1, it is type of hash function but better than MD5. CDR is a call data record, then imaging, it creates bit by bit image of a media. File system, it is the way to organize data. Write blocker, a device which is required to keep between evidence and forensic workstation. It allows only read instructions from workstation to device. Dear students, this brings to the end of this module and today's lecture. You have learned about evidence, digital evidence and also identification of digital evidence. We also learned about the importance of chain of custody and hash value in relation to digital evidence. Various steps involved in the analysis of the digital evidence such as smartphone, data storage devices, CCTV, CDR, computer, etc. were also discussed in this chapter. We also learned about the investigation of Windows and Linux operating systems. The chapter ended with the module on various tools used for the analysis such as NCase, FKT, UFED, Kali Linux, WinHex and hashing algorithm. With this module, we conclude this lecture. Do keep in mind what we discussed today. I will be back with one more lecture in this series. If you want to learn more and enhance your knowledge, you may log on to our website www.cec.nic.in for MCQs, quizzes, LORs, etc. Make sure you revise the modules frequently so that you master the topic well and take up the exercises. Thank you for your time today. I will see you in the next lecture. Keep learning, work hard and do revise the chapter. Goodbye.